Hello, Learn 11 class. Welcome to week 8. This is your week 8 check-in video. And I want to begin by saying wonderful job on test number 1. Our class average was a B, although I have about 5 more to grade. They'll probably be graded by the time you watch this video. So that's fantastic as a class. So yay you, great job. What I did notice on test number 1 was that I want to just remind you that taking the test for Learn 11, yes, it's about the content, and I am grading you to see that you're watching the videos and doing the reading and reading carefully and all of this, like any other test that you'll take in college. But an added layer to these tests is that you get to recognize some of the errors that you might make while taking tests. Sometimes errors just happen, they happen. We can't always avoid them. But then there are other times when I see a lot of the same error reoccurring. I just need to remind you to slow down when you take your tests and read the test questions really carefully, especially with the short answer ones, the ones that I was grading after you took your test, where you're writing your responses. Make sure that you read the question and the guidelines for what is supposed to be in the answer really carefully. And after you answer your question, go back and reread the test question just to make sure that you have answered it. Because there were a few people, well, more than a few, there were quite a few students who were missing points just because they weren't answering the whole question. So if you are moving really quickly through these tests, please find a time where you have 85 minutes, the full time to take the test. With that said, I have about 20 plus campus resource activity or projects to grade this week. So I'm very happy that so many of you were able to complete and stay on track with your assignments. So this is really exciting for me. I can't wait to read them and to take a look at them. Please take the time to look at your classmates' slides as well, because this may be helpful for you. Some students may have chosen programs that will benefit you if you take the time to look at their research. I'm also really curious to know what came up for you during this research and what you learned about researching our school resources. You know, the actual act of researching. Who did you speak to? What did you find most easy or the easiest, and what did you find most challenging? So that should be interesting to see as well. And remember, you can use the chat to go back and speak about any of these assignments or ask questions for the future. So far, it's just been me going on and answering your questions. So I would really like it as part of participation for the class if you can speak to one another and answer each other's questions if you know the answers. This is the time in the semester, now that we're here at the midpoint of the semester, where we start getting sick, we start getting tired, some of our motivation dies off, and so it's really, really important to not only encourage one another, but to practice self-care, resting when we need to, maybe slowing down. Again, the weather is changing as well. Today's really windy and a little chilly, so that means that we might want to hibernate a little bit more. So if you're still going, and really, really busy, see if you can't sneak in some time to just take some deep breaths, to sit in the quiet, to connect with your loved ones or with your instructors, whatever is going to encourage you just to get through this week and continue doing that through the next following weeks. We'll get to Thanksgiving break pretty quickly, and that'll be a nice recharge for you. But know that it's really common at this time to sort of change attitudes and to want to rest more. So take care of yourselves. Also this week you have the mid-semester activity due. So if you hadn't spoken with your instructors last week, please get on that. This week, I purposely gave you the activity last week so that if you had to have any communication to gather your grades and feedback from your instructors, you could get started on that early and wait for their responses. Next, you have an LTM and LASSI quiz this week. That is not part of your reading, but the quiz itself is part of the lecture. So please watch the lecture and watch it carefully, take notes well. If you have, it also goes over the instructor conference notes. So I'm having my last meeting today at 12:30. So you want to wait to take that quiz until after you watch the lecture and you've had your instructor conference. DLA number 1 is due this week, so please get on that. I've only so far had one student complete DLA number 1 online, so I'm assuming many of you are going in person, so please take care of that as soon as possible so that it doesn't get busy in the Success Center all at the same time. So what will happen is that all the Learn 11 classes have deadlines at the same time, and so it becomes what would have become an hour to do your DLA and a 15-minute follow-up. It becomes a 2-hour wait because you have to wait for other students to get their follow-ups done. So please plan ahead for that. Also, continue your 32-day commitment. I hope that you're doing well with that and that you're finding a lot of information to write into your paper. Your paper is coming up at the end of this month, so please take notes of what you're noticing when it comes to commitment and daily habits. For me, I still have not continued with my flossing every single day, but I've done it more often. And it actually took me to the next level, which is to go to the dentist and to take care of some much needed work that I've had to put on the back burner because of other health reasons, and then being busy with this class and some of my family things. So it really has propelled me to buckle down and get a lot of stuff taken care of. So that would be something that I would put in my notes in details, and I would go into that more detailed in writing to talk about what I've discovered from needing to complete my 32-day commitment, but also how it's changed certain habits and brought other things to light. I think that's all that I have for you. Go ahead and keep in contact with me if you have any questions. Otherwise, great job up to this point, you guys. I really encourage you to be your own best friend and to encourage yourselves through some of this lag, this exhaustion and illnesses that are coming up. And be in communication with me about that as well. All right, take care, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.